Let's see how we are going to evaluate this double integral here. And the key is that we'll be doing the change of variables as well as the Jacobian. This is an example from the textbook by James Stewart. Let's have a look. Firstly, why do we need change of variables? Have a look. We have x plus y over x minus y in the exponent of e. If you want to integrate this in terms of x and y, I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's possible. You can try it and let me know. Another thing to look at is that if you look at this region, if I want to integrate this with respect to x or y, meaning you should make vertical or horizontal cuts. If you do this vertically, then you see this function and that functions are different, so you have to break this down into two regions. If you do the horizontal cut, because this function and that functions are different, you have to make this cut right here. Again, you have to separate this integral into two integrals. So, change of variables is a good idea. First, we should figure out the equations of all these sides. Let's do this one right here first. It's just a line segment. So the equation is y equals mx plus b. M is a slope. We go up 1, go to the right 1, so the slope is 1. So y equals 1x. And b is the y-intercept, which is negative 1. Now, because this right here we have x minus y, I want to write this equation with x going first. So we have x. And then I will bring the y to the other side, minus y, and then I will add 1 to the other side. So that's equal to 1. Similarly speaking, this right here, y equals, the slope is 2 over 2, so it's 1 again. And then the y-intercept is minus 2. And then again, keep this here, subtract y equals, bring the 2 to the other side, just like that. Now you might be wondering, this right here is like 2 and this right here is 1. Why is the 2 below? The reason is because the y is negative. Just keep that in mind. Now we also need this, which is on the y-axis. The equation for that is x equals 0. And then this right here, it's on the x-axis. The equation for that is y equals 0. Okay, firstly, we have the x minus y in our function here. That's quite nice. But I don't see any x plus y in our picture here, right? Don't worry. Because we have the x plus y here, so I'm going to call that u. We need a variable for that. And then let's call this v. So this will be the new variables that we'll be using. And because v is nicely equal to x minus y, and it's in between of 1 and 2. This right here tells us that v is in between of 1 and 2. Done. Sometimes you don't need to draw a region in terms of the u and v to see the bounds. You can just work with equations or inequalities. So we have the bound for v already. Now, how do we get the bounds for the u though? As I said earlier, we don't have any x plus y in the picture, right? Don't worry, this is how we are going to do it. First, we are going to look at this equation, which is x is equal to 0. And now plugging into here, then we see that u is equal to y. But later on, we will be going to the uv world. I don't want y. So check this out. I will also be plugging 0 into this x. So that means v equals negative y. And guess what? I can bring the negative to the other side. Y is equal to negative v. And then put it here. This tells us that u is equal to negative v. Then let's go ahead and use this equation. Y is equal to 0. Put that here and here. Then you see that u is equal to x as well as v is equal to x. So that means u is equal to positive v. Combine these two together, then we see that u is in between of negative v and positive v. So we have the bounds of the u and v already. Very, very nice. So now, we'll take this into the uv world, still double integral, and then this is the e, and then the top is u, and the bottom is v. And now you might be wondering, we have this thing, can we really integrate that? We can, if we integrate with respect to u first. We cannot if you integrate this with respect to v. It's not possible to integrate e to the 1 over x in the x world or something like things like that. Alright, before we continue, remember the Jacobian, right? Remember the Jacobian whenever you want to change the dA into the uv. The Jacobian is, in fact here, when you put that inside of an integral, is the absolute value of the, I will just write partial, and xy like this over partial uv. This right here is the absolute value. The inside here is the determinant. And then we also need the du, dv. du, okay, u goes from negative v to v, so that's nice. And then for v, it goes from 1 to 2. Now, we just need to figure out the Jacobian, and then we'll be ready to go. For the Jacobian, let me write it down here. Notice we have the partial of xy over partial of uv. So normally what you have to do is, you have to solve for x and y from this system of equations, and then take the partial derivative. That's okay, but the truth is, you don't have to do that. Especially when you have uv isolated already, you can do the following. Check this out. I'm going to do the partial of uv with respect to, well, I don't know if this is how to say it, but this is a Jacobian uv and then xy. How this goes is that this is the determinant. You look at the u, do the partial with respect to x. And then you look at the u, do the partial with respect to y. And then look at v, do the partial with respect to x. Look at v, do the partial with respect to y. And now you might be wondering, this and that are different. Don't worry. All we need to do is that once we figure this out, when we go back here, it's just the reciprocal. That's all. And it works because of the chain rule. You guys can think about it. Let me demonstrate this right here first though, and then maybe I'll make another video to show you that this is just the reciprocal of that. They are reciprocal of each other. Anyways, let's see. I'm looking at u. Take the partial with respect to x, so I get 1. Look at u. Take the partial with respect to y, we get 1. Now look at v. Take the partial with respect to x is 1. If you do the partial with respect to y, you get negative 1. So 1 and negative 1. Now this times this is negative 1. Minus this times that is 1. So altogether we get negative 2. Alright. This is negative 2, but this right here will be 1 over negative 2, which is negative 1/2. Just like that. So let me just clean this up for you guys a little bit right here. Absolute value of negative 1/2 is just positive 1/2. It's a constant multiple. We can put that all the way in the front here, and then we still have the rest. Integral going from 1 to 2, integral going from negative v to v, and then e to the u over v power du dv. Now we can just go ahead and integrate it inside out. In the u world, v is a constant. Have a look right here. Note that we're just integrating e, and it's just like a constant times the u, right? Remember the formula is if you have a times x dx. You can do a substitution here, or you can just use this right here. You will get e to the ax, but you have to divide it by the derivative, which is multiplied by 1 over a. So in this case here, we have 1/2 integral 1 to 2. This right here stays e to the u over v, but the derivative right here is 1 over v. That's like the a right here. You have to divide it by 1 over a. You have to divide it by 1 over v. It's like you multiply by v here. Okay? Or you can just differentiate this real quick. Differentiate this with respect to u real quick. This right here stays, but you have to multiply by 1 over v, which will cancel with this v, and you get that back. Okay, and then we have to go from negative v to v. Okay, and then let's see what do we have. Remember, this right here is in terms of u. I will have to plug in the phi into here first. So we have 1/2, 1 to 2, plugging phi. Phi over v is just 1, which is nice. So we have phi times e, and then minus plugging negative phi into here over phi, which is -1. So it's phi e to the -1, and then d phi. And in fact, we only have phi here. We can factor that out. So have a look. If we factor out the phi, and then this is just e minus e to the -1. This is just a constant. We can put that in the front. So this right here is 1/2, and then times e minus e to the -1. And then we just have to integrate from 1 to 2, and then we have phi like this. All right, let's go ahead and work this out first. Integrating phi, we get 1/2 phi squared, and then plug in the numbers. When 2 goes in, 2 squared is 4, divided by 2, we get 2. Plugging 1, we get 1/2. 2 minus 1/2 is 3/2. So now, we just have to do 1/2 times this times 3 over 2. 3 over 2 times 1/2, that is 3 over 4. And then I'll just keep that. And that's it. Cool, huh?